The Road to Emmaus. When a life changing event happens, you often look back and try to piece together how it all started, trying to pinpoint that exact moment when the axis shifted and the world you knew started draining like a handful of sand out of your grasp. The life changing event for me was when a very influential figure by the name of Jesus came into Jerusalem. Our family was small. It was just my father, my mother, my brother, and me. My father and brother both worked as fishermen, and from time to time, my mother and I took in mending to support our family. We didn't have a lot, but we also didn't lack for anything. That first day, when the crowds came by chanting excitedly, I would have never guessed it would affect us too.
Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord.
Hosanna,
Blessed is the coming kingdom of
Hosanna,
our father David. Hosanna in the highest heaven.
Hosanna, Hosanna.
More than usual. And they're finding rockets in the street. You know what? I've heard something about this. That new healer, Jesus of Nazareth. Everyone's been talking about him, and they say he's coming here to Jerusalem today.
Great, great. That's just absolutely great. That's all we need. More trouble around you. I hope he's coming to pay some of these taxes. They just keep getting higher and higher and higher, and I don't know where we're going or how we're going to afford it.
Well, you know, nobody's going to do anything about it. We'll just have to go to the temple and make a bigger sacrifice. Maybe God will hear us this time.
He's here. He's here. Right up the street.
Oh no, oh no, 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 not you too. You stay away from there. That boy is just going to bring trouble down on us, and you know it, with all our heads.
But Dad, he heals people.
Don't they all?
Dad, not even the Pharisees can heal. I've heard he raised the man from the dead.
Did you see it?
No, but
No, but nothing. You didn't see it. It didn't happen. You don't fall in love with little people saying he's the Messiah. He's the Messiah. Every few months there's a new sign. Don't you go letting these people fill your head full of nonsense, boy. He's just another troublemaker who bring the Romans down on us.
but the Romans are already here, Dad. Look at these taxes. The taxes that we're paying. Do you know they handpicked our chief priests, for goodness sake? We have never had a religious leader that was picked by outside.
Keep your voice down. Don't you let everybody hear you talking about that stuff like that. Our temple and our religious leaders still belong to us.
Okay, Dad. Whatever you say.
I think that unless you want someone in here questioning our loyalty and thinking we're involved with this rabble and those troublemakers, that you need to keep your mouth closed talking about our leaders.
Both of you quiet down. All this racket and all this noise is so loud I can hardly hear myself think. It's the crowds. They're getting closer.
Hey, isn't that Timaeus' son?
Bartimaeus, the blind one who used to sit at the side of the road in Jericho?
Yes, that's him. But he's not sitting. He's with the crowd.
No one is guiding him. He isn't even feeling his way around. You know what? If I didn't know any better, I would say he can see. Sure is dancing around like he can see.
That can't be right. Oh, he just looks like Bartimaeus. That ain't him.
You know what? I can hardly see over the crowd, but it looks like someone's riding on a donkey.
Wow, that must be Jesus.
You know, I heard that he fed 5,000 people with just a few loaves of bread and some fish.
I heard that he raised people from the dead and heals the sick.
Okay, y'all stop gawking out the window. Stop gawking out these windows and Lead them to their foolishness. We all have to go, all of us, we all have to go to the temple to pray.
I keep hearing people say that Jesus teaches God doesn't just live in the temple. He lives everywhere. He lives in us too.
Boy, hush your mouth with that.
The world is his, and we can all access him at any time.
Boy, hush your mouth with that. Don't let anybody hear you saying stuff like that. See, that's what it is. You young people, y'all always trying to make trouble. You talk to the priest, and the priest talks to God, and that's the way it has always been.
That boy, what's his name? John the Baptizer. He's the one that started all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, sure is. And look where it got him. Look where it got him. He's out there in the wilderness yelling about how people, even the Pharisees and the teachers of law, they all needed to repent. And you know what? They had their head cut off just for fun. You can't afford to be reckless. Can't afford to be reckless like that. I should be talking about myself.
But isn't that a sign? Isn't that a sign that something is wrong? We can't even talk about things. We can't even question things.
I don't like what these new people put in all kinds. I don't like that these new people put all kinds of stuff in ideas in your head. They always said nothing good can ever come out of Nazareth. Nothing good can ever come out of Nazareth. Nothing. So, and I didn't raise you to be questioning things. But I'm saying, I didn't raise you to be questioning things. Questioning things gets people into trouble.
But if we never question things, that nothing will ever change.
One person you don't question is me. You understand? Don't question me. I'm going to lie down and get me some sleep. If I can get over all this noise, because I got to get up early in the morning. Fish bite early in the morning. I got to go.
But what about your dinner?
Don't worry about the dinner. I'll get it later.
Why can't Dad see that there's nothing wrong with questioning things? If we never question things, the same old injustice is going to continue to happen.
Because there's always a price to be paid and a sacrifice to be made for change to occur. Sometimes it's easier to talk about it, but sometimes the time is just not right to make change happen in a lasting way. So this passion you feel, if it burns out, where does that leave you? Where does that leave the progress of your change? Unfinished. And unfinished change leaves a void that only chaos can fill. You know what? I'm going to check on this part.
The ground that moved down the street, we missed it. I wish I could have been in it all.
That was pretty exciting today. I don't know how Dad will sleep. I don't know how I'm going to sleep. I'm so excited. Imagine actual Messiah passed right by our house.
Yeah, and we missed it.
Don't tell anyone, but I heard Jesus restored Bartimaeus' sight.
But Dad is convinced it wasn't him.
Dad also didn't look out the window. That was definitely him.
You're right. If he can do that, there's no telling what else he can do. I can't sit here and pretend that we're not in the middle of a movement anymore. That parade today, did you feel that energy? There is something happening here. And I just can't sit back and keep my mouth closed like it doesn't exist anymore. Not when there's a real leader and teacher close by. I want to learn what he has to teach. I feel like this is the one, the Messiah, the real true Son of God, who connects us back to God.
You better not let Dad find out.
Tell Dad I'm sorry.
What? Why?
I'm leaving.
Just like that?
I have to follow Jesus. I can't stay here. I'll just keep feeling like I'm just dying inside.
But what will you do? How will you survive?
I don't know, but somehow I know I will be okay. God will take care of me.
You
sick.
The snakes, the Pharisees and Sadducees are nothing but snakes. They had him on trial for days now. And even though they can clearly find him guilty of nothing, the religious leaders want him dead. They even have taken him to Golgotha to be crucified.
Son, keep it down. They're probably looking for you too. Even though you may not have been one of the 12, if anyone saw you hanging around with them, they're going to be looking for you too.
I know, Mom. I know. It's just so frustrating.
Sarah from next door said she thought she saw that disciple Peter, but when she asked about it, he denied it. She said she could have swore it was him.
Mom, Sarah from next door just likes to get people in trouble. Brother, that's why it's important that while you're here, you lay low. Because Sarah from next door knows you're here, trust me, all of Jerusalem will know.
It's going to be hard enough to convince your father when he gets home. You know he took it pretty bad when you took off. You know he's been worried about paying these taxes. And when you took off, it meant less income coming into the family. So, you know, your father really took it hard.
I've had to take in some extra sewing.
I'm sorry. I know. I know you won't understand this, but I had to leave. I just couldn't stay here anymore. Besides, aren't either of you worried that Jesus, the Savior of mankind, has been sentenced to death?
Son, there's nothing you can do about that.
I know. That's what makes it so horrible. Just so horrible. When are things going to change? Our leaders are corrupt, and we can't talk about it. They are sentencing people to death for speaking the truth, and we can't talk about it. The very Messiah the prophets of old have predicted has now come, and they want to kill him too. I feel so helpless. All Jesus has been teaching us is how to love God and one another. Now he's being sentenced to death for it.
Woo, man. More and more ruckus out there every day. I just can't believe they want to crucify someone before the pastor. What's he doing in his house?
Keep your voice down. He's in trouble. If anyone finds out he's here, he'll be in trouble.
Well, he can't stay here.
But he's in danger.
It's danger he brought upon himself. He shouldn't have been hanging around with the people in the first place. I told him they wasn't going to do nothing to start trouble.
How can you be so cold? If you send your son, your only son out there, he's going to be killed.
Let me tell you something. This ain't my fault. I ain't had nothing to do with it. It's not my fault. He made the choice, and he got to live with it.
I made a choice to believe in the Messiah and have hope for our people and our future. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But since you think I deserve to die, I'm leaving.
No one is going anywhere. Both of you stop this. Family is all we have, and if we tear each other apart, what do we have left?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Fine, he can stay here for this week.
It's just an earthquake. It could be a sign.
It's an earthquake, no more, no less.
Very dark out there on the place.
Oh no. Here comes Sarah from next door. She's headed in this direction. Brother, you better hide in the other room. Better go.
One moment, I'm coming.
everybody, Sarah's here. Woo! It sure is dark out there. I could barely see. Hello, everyone. Hi, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Well, have you heard the news about that blasphemer Jesus? No, but I'm sure you're gonna tell us. What about him? He's gone now. He won't be causing any more trouble. They crucified him at Golgotha. What? Golgotha? They call that the place of the skull. Exactly. Couldn't even save himself. Anyway, as soon as he died, the earth started shaking, and suddenly it was really, really dark outside. And it's only afternoon. Some of the priests were saying that a veil tore in the temple. Just a lot of weird stuff. Anyway, I had some bread left over from selling to the hungry people at the crucifixion this morning, and I wanted to see if y'all wanted any. No, thank you, Sarah. I don't think we could afford it. Now, you best be running along. It's dark out there, and the streets are getting dangerous. Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Sarah.
Isn't that heartless? Selling bread at someone's death. And especially when that same man gave you bread. Sarah told me that her and her mother went to use Jesus' feast a few months back. She told me how he multiplied a few fish and loaves of bread and fed the multitude. That was how she recognized the man that she thought was Peter. That girl is the worst. Brother, you can come in now. She's gone.
I heard everything. He's dead. He didn't deserve this. I can't believe this is happening. That evil has won again. The kingdom of God is not here. What will I do now?
Well,
What will the disciples do?
well, this is what I think. Hopefully they'll come to the senses. And stop causing so much trouble.
All change is not trouble, Father.
Don't start that again. The girl was right about one thing. He can't even save himself. How can a person who can't save himself save anybody else? Huh? That just don't make sense.
Everything is lost. All we hope for. Everything is so hopeless now.
I told you that Jesus wasn't nothing but trouble from the start. And nothing good will come out of following him. Didn't I tell you?
You know what? He's already down. Can't you see he's in despair? Don't rub it in.
I really don't understand how you can fall. I don't understand how you can fall in with these people, these rabble. How can a person that can't save themselves save you? Huh? How can they do it? It don't make no sense, boy.
He didn't need to be saved. We did.
All right. You've been moping around here for 3 days, son. You should eat something. It's a long journey by foot to Emmaus. You're going to waste away if you don't eat something. So many people are heartbroken since the healer Jesus died. It's almost as if the whole city is covered in some kind of sadness.
Well, I for one ain't saying, pick your face up off the ground and make sure you raise with your cousin Cleo and come.
Sister, I will miss you. I wish you the best. Take care of Mother and Father.
I will.
Mother, I love you so much. Thank you for everything. I'm sorry I couldn't stay here and just be a fisherman and stay out of trouble. I have to leave Jerusalem, but you'll never leave my heart.
Son, it's not a bad thing to want change. If you truly believe in something, don't leave it in a state of chaos.
You know, you're right. Thank you, Mother. I can't give up on what I believe just because it doesn't look like it's happening the way I thought it should. The lessons I've learned are still relevant and can still help change lives. So, even if this city is too closed-minded to believe in right now. There are signs everywhere. Those signs are meaning that something big is happening, even though I don't know exactly what it is right now. The earthquake, the early darkness, and the torn veil that Sarah spoke of are all signs that something is happening.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a sign, Cleopas outside. You can go.
Father, I am truly sorry that I left the way I did. I appreciate everything you have done for this family. I didn't mean for it all to end so badly. Maybe someday you can forgive me.
Cleopas outside waiting. I do not think, I know, I'm not a fact, I know I don't need to forgive you. I told you what would happen, but you just chose not to listen. But that's okay. You didn't listen to me. It's that simple. You chose a phony healer over your own father. And you know what? Now he's dead.
Father, I forgive you. Even if you can't forgive me, I know you don't understand, but I can't simply forget what has happened and go back to normal. I can't forget that. Too great a sacrifice has been made for me, and you too, though you don't understand. A great sacrifice has been made for all mankind, and I can't let it be in vain. All of my hope is not lost. I go to my purpose.
My brother did not return to our home. My father hardened his heart toward his own son for the rest of his days. I didn't know it at the time, but Jesus had predicted this too, that his followers would be treated as such, that brother would draw swords against brother, and so forth. Months after my brother left the city, came alive with whispers that Jesus had overcome death. The disciples had witnessed Jesus alive in the upper room. Several others reported witnessing him alive too. I heard that my brother had returned to Jerusalem too, and found renewed purpose working to spread the word that Jesus, the Christ, was risen, and that Christ ascended to God and sacrificed his mortal body to atone for the sins of mankind, so that mankind could be connected back with God. I always wondered why my brother returned to Jerusalem after being so anxious to leave. I wondered why he and the disciples risked so much until I heard the following passage, and I understood. Now that same day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in the word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hope that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the third day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but they didn't find his body. They came and told us they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus." He said to them, "How foolish are you, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus continued on as if he were going further. But they urged him strongly, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. And when he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. They asked each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us when he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?" And they got up at once and returned to Jerusalem.